Hello, welcome to the show 3 C's of Me, where we talk about conviction, cognition, and coffee. Well, today we're doing something a little different if you have been following this channel. And this show, we're talking about the Marine Corps and Samantha Bee and opinions and airplanes, because I'm right next to an airport, apparently. Well, anyway, stay tuned for more, because you're not going to want to miss this one. So, shout outs to Auntie, you know who you are. If you're watching this, you better subscribe. You promised. All right? Kind of, not really. It was an offhanded comment, not really a promise. Anyway, this video is going to focus on a couple of different things, but mainly, one, the Marine Corps, and two, political opinions and humor, and freedom of speech kind of stuff like that. So, Marine Corps, how does that have anything to do with Samantha Bee? I'm glad you asked. You didn't ask. I keep saying that. Whatever. So, I'm a reservist, and this is my last drill. What? So amazing. So amazing. But somebody asked me, what's it like to be out of the Marine Corps? And I thought of a bunch of things that I could say that would be really funny and true. And then, as I kept thinking about it, and I was like, I'm going to make a video about all the things I think about the Marine Corps, I stumbled onto the Samantha Bee controversy. And if you haven't heard about it, just pause this video and go check that out, because you should, if you haven't heard about it, that you must kind of live under a social media rock, which is fine if you do, because you're probably a lot happier. I'm going to start with, how do I feel about being out of the Marine Corps? I love it. I mean, I'm not really out of the Marine Corps, so I got 2 more years in the individual ready reserve, but details. It just means I don't have to rearrange my life every month, cut off all my hair, and show up to a place where I don't really want to be once a month. Now, like I said, I'm not going to say a bunch of hateful things about the Marine Corps that I probably kind of could. What I am going to say is that I joined the Marine Corps to protect freedom of speech and other freedoms, like the right to bear arms and the right to a fair and speedy trial and, rule of law, those kind of things, because I support America and freedoms and stuff. However, my expectations and the reality were very different, and anyone who joins the military will probably tell you similar things. I joined for the college money, and I wanted to be an officer and do great things for my country, travel the world, etc., etc. I didn't do any of it, and I got like $900 from a Montgomery GI Bill. Every little bit helps, right? So, despite all the salesmanship from the recruiters and all that kind of stuff, I don't really feel like I was lied to, but I didn't really get what I was told I was going to get. And it wasn't really my fault. I wasn't a bad Marine. I didn't really mess up ever once, I didn't make any trouble for anyone. I did all my homework, and I did all my physical fitness tests, and I did my job, and I did my best to do what I needed to do. And it didn't work out in my favor. I just don't really fit with the Marine Corps. Our personalities, it's a bad relationship. I feel like I'm not free to do what I think is best. I feel like I'm held back by bureaucracy and rules and restrictions. And I really feel, this is the biggest complaint I have, that intelligence is not the most valued thing in the Marine Corps. I'm just being honest. I'm not really trying to hate, but I never really feel like I mesh with the Marine Corps. I don't really feel like the Marine Corps got me or understood me or anything like that. And well, it's the Marine Corps, it's like the needs of the Marine Corps are your priority. Your needs are not the Marine Corps' priority. And that's what everyone says. And yeah, you're supposed to just kind of accept that, and that's fine, I guess, but not for me, because I actually wanted to be treated like a free-thinking individual who could take initiative and learn and be, responsible. For 6 years, I tried, and it didn't work. And eventually you just kind of I'm not going to put any more energy into this. And I just kind of, I'm out. So, I'm excited, because I feel like I can devote much more time and energy to things that I care about, like thinking and writing and creativity and conversation, like this video. So, this video, what does it have to do with Samantha Bee? What does the Marine Corps have to do with Samantha Bee? What it has to do with Samantha Bee is that she said some pretty not nice things about Ivanka Trump on a televised show, scripted, went through a lot of executives. They just thought it was fine, I guess. I don't know. And a bunch of people freaked out because several days earlier, Roseanne Barr tweeted something that didn't go through executives or anything, didn't represent the views of the channel, but she was fired. Her show got tanked, canceled. I don't know what the actual jargon is. But yeah, she's off the air. Her show, Roseanne, is no longer on air. And there's a bunch of people that are kind of upset that Samantha Bee didn't get fired because she said outrageous things. She has a platform and she misused it. So a lot of people are calling it hypocrisy, double standard, et cetera, et cetera. So my point is, despite all that, you shouldn't just air all your opinions just because you can. I am an advocate of free speech. I joined the military to defend those types of things, okay? People should be allowed to say what they want to say, and we should not limit the exchange of ideas. And that's not a Republican or Democrat or left or right thing. I just think that's an American freedom thing. We should exchange ideas, and people who have terrible ideas, some of you are in the Marine Corps, not trying to call anyone out, but should be allowed to exchange those ideas and act on those ideas and stuff like that. So comedians who say things that are not funny and racially charged or sexist, sure, freedom of speech. You're not free from the consequences of your speech. And I wish we would kind of get that through our heads as people. Like, we do have freedom of speech, and to a certain degree. And to use a platform to speak negatively or to insult somebody, I think is a misuse of that freedom of speech. And any consequences that come from that are probably warranted, because we need to hold each other accountable for our actions and our words. And my whole opinion on what Samantha Bee said is not really incredibly relevant, outside of the fact that I don't think she should have said it at all, especially not on national TV. I don't know if she wrote it herself, but the people who were like editing the script should have been like, this is probably not going to go well. We should probably not say this. Somebody should have said, we shouldn't say this on air, right? So why did it get said? On Roseanne Barr's defense, it was a tweet, and why do powerful people tweet stupid stuff? Even President Trump. I mean, some of the things he says are just, what? Confusing? But, you know, I'm not gonna attack him, call him stupid. I'm not gonna say that he shouldn't be the president or that he's like immoral or whatever. I mean, you can have your opinion of Trump, we can talk about it, we can disagree about it, and we can get along nicely. It's fine. You know, it's not the end of the world if we don't agree on these things. You know, my opinion of Trump also is not necessarily relevant. But I'm not just gonna spout off all these wild, emotionally charged things about him. I'm gonna think about these things, I'm gonna evaluate them, I'm gonna hold my opinions and refine them and watch what happens and respond to it intelligently. And, you know, I'm not a gifted intellectual by any means. My personality is not, I'm not naturally a thinker. I interact with the world on a more emotional level than an intellectual level, but the whole point of this show is to challenge myself to be more intellectual and to think about things and use reason, because reason has been what has gotten us this far. And I think we're degrading ourselves when we just spout off our opinions that are emotional without thinking about the consequences thereof. And the thing is about like insults and such, even if they're comedic, what are we trying to fix when we insult somebody through being a comedian or being funny about it? I don't think what Samantha Bee said was funny. If you don't know what she said, just Google it. I don't think it was funny at all. I don't think anyone who directly insults another person is funny, no matter what they say. Sometimes someone says something offhanded, it comes off a little racist, a little sexist, a little... So sometimes we laugh at things and they're just, it was kind of funny. And then we think about them and then we realize that's not funny. We shouldn't say those things. And then hopefully we stop saying those things. So Samantha Bee did apologize, yes. A lot of people think it was sort of a forced apology. Who knows? I don't know. I think if somebody apologizes, when we should, okay, you apologized. and go from there, and then evaluate their further actions. And you can't really judge somebody's apology until after they apologize and after you watch what happens next. If she does the same thing next week or tomorrow or tonight or whatever, maybe her apology wasn't as sincere as we'd like it to be. Part of what this channel is about is helping people learn how to think. I don't want people to be told what to think, okay? I think people are done a great disservice when a bunch of people are telling them what to think. And when you're in the middle of politics, you're told often what you should think about a thing or a person. And it's a lot worse if it's an intentionally biased news source or commentary or whatever. We should probably stop doing this. I think we need to take all these things, consider them, and make our own decisions based on what we feel and what we think. And we should use those two things together. Like conviction and cognition, they should work together. That's my opinion. And everything goes a little better with coffee. Also my opinion. But don't let me tell you what to think. I want to work with everyone to think about things, and I want you to learn how to think. Ask questions, reserve your opinions, check your emotions, all these types of things. So I want this to be a structure of how we can think about these things, how we can respond to these things, have conversations about these things. So, right, okay, so Samantha B says that Trump should be doing the immigration thing better. And she specifically called out Ivanka and said, I'm not even going to repeat what she said. But she wants Ivanka Trump to go to her dad and tell him to fix his immigration thing. Okay, well, the immigration thing is not Trump. If you go look into the whole immigration thing where he's destroying the lives of the families, the immigration policy has been on the books for a long time, since like Clinton or earlier. And maybe things are getting worse, but that's a thing. If it's getting worse, let's have a conversation about how it's getting worse. Let's not just attack each other, verbally or otherwise, about why it's getting worse or whatever. And let's not just blame Trump for everything. Please, stop. Like, it's not just his fault, okay? It's irrational to blame all the things on one person. The executive branch of our government does not have that much power. And this immigration policy is not something new. If I remember correctly, people were tweeting photos taken back in 2014. Trump wasn't president in 2014. And it's also disingenuous to use pictures from 2014 to attack a policy and things going on today. So let's not do that. Let's stop being, well, Samantha B and attacking people and insulting people. Let's have conversations. Let's ask rational questions. Let's express how we feel in a way that is productive. And sometimes that can be an argument. Sometimes you can go back and forth. Sometimes it can get a little heated and emotional. Venting and expressing emotions is not inherently bad. But let's try to make progress with that, okay? I think I could have made a lot more progress if I had better conversations with the people in the Marine Corps. I hope me having the conversations now helps people that are gonna be going in or have been in, wanna go back in, people that know people that are in. Says, have those conversations, do what you need to do to move forward. And you know what? Sometimes you're gonna do your best and it's just not gonna work out for you. I feel like I did my best with the information that I had, with the intelligence I had, with the situations that I was in and how life was going. I did what I could, and I didn't really succeed in the areas that I wanted to succeed. I don't really regret it. I don't think I made a bunch of mistakes, but I'm definitely not going to blame an entire organization for me not being successful. I'm not gonna just throw out all my opinions because I'm no longer really associated with them. And even 2 years from now, when I am completely out and I'm no longer under any service contract, will I vocalize hatred or insults to an organization or an individual at all? And I'm just not gonna do that. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect by any means. Obviously, I'm not. Just look at the quality of these YouTube videos. I mean, obviously, when you only get 2 views on a video, you're not that great at it, but you know what? We're just gonna keep going with it. There's 16, 17 videos in so far. You know what? I'm gonna keep trying. and I'm going to keep trying to get better, and I want to invite people along for that journey. And I hope that somebody can watch this and walk away with a little bit of a better idea of how to think about things, how to question things, and how to just be a better version of themselves. That's it. Maybe it was a little long. I hope the audio is okay. If not, hey, you know what? It's about the content mostly, in my opinion. If you don't agree, then hey, you know what? Thumbs down. If you agree with anything that I said, thumbs up. If you want to see more videos, then please consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell. I'm not sure what subscriptions do anymore on YouTube, but whatever. I have no coffee to promote, unfortunately. I am sad, but I'm happy to be done with drilling. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video if you want. Until my next video, be reasonable, people.